Good morning. I'm Grandma Judie. The snow is starting to melt off now. It's like the 18th of February of 2025, Washington State. And it's just beautiful. Hi, JD. What you looking at, huh? The snow hasn't quite decided whether it wants to just go to mud or ice. I think it's just going to end up going to mud. But it's a beautiful day out here today. In comparison, we were down to 6 degrees. Now we're sitting here at a beautiful 32. 32 is much nicer. That's my hobby house, a little storage shed I had brought in, and my son's fifth wheel. So he has a place to stay when he comes. Him and his wife and the kids. Because we only have a little 2-bedroom house here. Oh, hello, chickens. How's my girls? Oh, and there's Big Blue standing up there. There's my buddy laying on the porch. He is my constant companion. Buddy is just the greatest guy there ever was. Aren't you, Buddy? Yes. He's protective. He's loving. And I feel totally safe with him around. Oh. And have to really watch my feet out here because you can hear the crunch. That's ice under my feet. Hey, girls. How are we doing? Huh? How's my girls? And then there's Big Blue back there. I bought 6 little hen chicks, and it turned out I had 5 little hen chicks and a rooster. So I'm going to find a home for my rooster. Although he's very nice on my hens. Would you see there's not a feather missing on any of my hens? So he's very gentle on my hens. And I do like that. But we've got 2 barred rocks, 2 blue Moran hens, and 1 buff, and a blue Moran rooster. Big Blue. This is my neighbor's place here. They have basically a stud farm. I was thinking about going to town, but it really looks like the fog's going to want to set in. I'm not crazy about the fog. I know you're there. You can hush. Washington's a beautiful state. We have everything. We have the Pacific Ocean. We've got beautiful mountains. We've got skiing. We're right off the Columbia River. And I love going down and watching the windsurfers. I don't do windsurfing. No. That water is icy cold. And, well, just not going to do that. I wouldn't have done it when I was younger, so why in the world would I do it now? I'm going to take you in the hobby house. And I apologize because the hobby house is a bit of a mess. It just has too much stuff going on. And that's my fault because I always have too much stuff going on. This is my little aquaponics system, which I really love. Aquaponics, not hydro, because I use fish for fertilizer. And I have got cabbages and basil growing in there right now. And let's see, I don't know if we'll see the fishes or not. Sometimes I'll stay put, sometimes they won't. There we go. And what I use for their base is just a big tote that I was able to set my entire unit in. So if there's ever a spill or anything, I don't have to worry about it. Very handy. Right here are plants I actually brought in because, well, it got cold. So I brought those in so that they would survive the winter. And we've got a little fig tree. And then I love this one. It's a beautiful variegated. Just absolutely beautiful. And it puts out the most wonderful bright yellow and red-rimmed flowers I've ever seen. And of course, rosemary down here. And these, the same as the variegated, except in color. See this one? It will actually turn a chocolate, and it will have bright, bright red flowers on it. This little yellow one here, again, is, whoops, getting a bad shot on that, sorry. We'll have more of a yellow with variegated. And this one, again, is kind of a cross between the variegated and the brown, the rust color. So I brought them in, cut them way back because they had spider mites. And so in order to save them, and now they are coming back, because they were just cut down to 1 inch above the ground. So, and to save my flooring, they are in a mixing tub, like a big cement tub. And underneath there is a dolly on wheels, so that if I have to move them around, I can. I can just reach down and give them a pull and put them back. So all of my plants out here are on wheels. Almost all my tables and everything are on wheels because I'm old and lifting is a challenge. I know, I apologize for the mess, but my art table, again, I'd have to clean it to do any drawings, wouldn't I? Now this is fun. I started this last year. I actually went to an OMSI class on wire wrap jewelry. It was so much fun. It was a 5-day camp. Had a wonderful time. And I have been working on the skills that I was trying to pick up from there. I'm not great at it yet. I might never be, so yet might be the wrong word. But I have so much fun doing it. And when you're old, you need to find things that you can do that don't take a huge amount of strength. So that's what I have been doing. These are little pendants that I have made. The shaping of the rocks is called cabochons. This is one of the first ones I did, and that's actually a bead, which is a lot of fun. I used copper and silver, but copper is actually easier to bend and do than the silver is, so I do a lot more copper than I do the silver. But they are a lot of fun to do, and you're going to see me doing videos doing these. I've been working on rings, but I'll tell you what, I'm not doing real great. This is just a pretty little one. That's actually for my ears. Let's see. Whoops, drop that one. I have to go find it. Now this is fun, and again, it's a bead. But I like the look of it and the feel of it. Trying to dig a ring out of here. This one's not bad, but look at that. Not great either, is it? A little messy. But I am finding as I keep working that I get better. Here's a fun one. Again, just a little cabochon, some copper wire. I'm getting much better at the backs. My backs at first were so messy. See if I can find one of the old ones. Now these are one of the first ones that I was working on. Look at, everything's crooked. But what I was really working on was learning this weave. And I'm better at the weave, but I'm still not great. There are so many of them. And I like working with these little small stones. They're a lot of fun. But I will be showing you what I do with wire wrap just for the fun of it. This is a tree of life. The back, okay, but a little messy. And I get a lot of my supplies. I call this my treasure box. See if I can move back here so you can get a better view of it. And what I do is I go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, secondhand stores, and a lot of times they just have big jars of broken jewelry or one-of-a-kind earrings and all that sort of thing. And I just buy them. And I bring them home, and some of them I break apart. Everything in this little box was broken apart out of different pieces of jewelry that were broken. And I'll spend sometimes a couple of hours just doing that. And other times I find really fun pieces that I just don't think I want to take apart. Look at this lovely little bracelet. Gorgeous glass beads. A very nice clasp. Really nicely done. I think I'll probably keep that one. this one, absolutely gorgeous. Lovely little crystals in it, or rhinestones. And it looks really expensive, doesn't it? Guess what? It's on rubber bands. And each of these pieces is completely separate. See if I can make my fingers do that. So it could be taken apart and used in making a lot of different jewelry pieces. I haven't decided yet. And just this plain black bead. Again, very nice, decent clasp, and easy to wear with whatever I'm putting on, I guess. So I haven't decided, but I really like the beads for reworking. And I love this one. This is actually a choker. It's metal that's enameled. Really nicely done. It's fairly old. Not old enough to actually be of value, but old anyway. And then this last batch had a mess of pearls in it. Now, these aren't real pearls. These are faux pearls. But they work so nicely working in with my wire wrap. So I might be taking those apart too. And look at this little ring. Now, see, it's got a missing part here. So I'll probably just save it for pieces. But look at this. Talk about cheap made. Look at that band. On the other hand, the piece itself is really decently done. So, but it has a missing stone, so it'll be a part for pieces. But I have a lot of fun doing this. And this is just the view out of the hobby house. And right across, I do children's storytelling every now and then. I have got a slew of great-grandchildren. So I just stop and read Peter Rabbit, Cinderella, whatever I'm in the mood for, and put it on YouTube for them. And it's a lot of fun. And that backdrop I bought from Amazon for like $30. Really reasonable. So I really advise people that want to do YouTube stuff to think about doing some backdrops, because they're much easier to decorate with. And unless you're an artist, I could never do that on my own. Here's my little desk. You know, nothing special here. Computer, keyboard, junk, laying all over the place. My hat collection, part of it. And I collect books, old books, especially children's books. And I have an encyclopedia set from the 1970s. And I got that because woke was changing our history. And I didn't like that idea. So I can go back and they'll say that something happened on a certain date to a certain person. I can look it up and I can find out if they're telling the truth or not. And most of the time I find out they're not. They're changing it to be either sexual or acting like people are being mean. And it's like, I don't think so. And of course, sometimes people are being mean, but it's not all the time, I'm really happy to say. And let's see here.